on.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers,
Hey, and I'm Don Tretler. Welcome to the show.
and we are doing Names from the Hat again. The Old Hat is the name of this episode.
And we skipped a week, so we don't know who's in the hat.
Yeah,
this
there's
week. It could be
8 things
anybody.
in here from 2 weeks ago, and neither one of us probably have a clue. I mean, I think we'll be able to figure out whose is who, but I'm waiting for the day when we both put the same person in. So I think that's going to be funny.
Yeah, we haven't done
It
that
hasn't
yet.
happened yet, but it's bound to happen.
Sooner or later.
I don't even remember who went first. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
I can.
All right.
I don't remember what's in here, so we're
So-
this is going to be totally fun.
This is going to be a lot of fun. 2 weeks without knowing what's in here. That looks like something you did.
Oh, no,
Looks too
it's
big
like
for
It's
me.
your handwriting.
Is it?
Ben Affleck, but as a
Director. Yes, I do remember that. I was
All right.
trying to think of a director, and he doesn't have a very big sample, but I like every single movie that he's directed. Did you watch?
No, and I'm bumming. I have a
Yep.
plan for it, though. See, it's, what is it? They Live by Night?
Yeah.
I have a plan for the movies. My girlfriend is going to be out at a conference next week, and I'm going to try to watch it while she's gone.
Gotcha. It's about
Which is too
bootlegging.
bad because then I'd be able to talk about it
I
today.
know. I won't talk about it then. But,
So what it went, and I'm trying to remember what other ones he did.
well, his first movie he directed was Gone Baby Gone. Which, have you seen that?
I did.
I thought that was excellent. Casey Affleck, Michelle Monaghan, Ed Harris, Morgan Freeman. That was Dennis Lehane, I want to say. He also did Mystic River, wrote Mystic River.
Right. I'd like to see it. See, I want to see it again because I did see it when it came out.
Yeah, it was really good.
I know it's got like a twist at the end.
It does.
I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I'm like spoiled. No,
Amy Ryan is the mom. Her daughter goes missing, and she hires Casey Affleck and Michelle Monaghan, who are private detectives, to look into finding the girl. And you know, it's a Boston movie, you know, and I don't
this
know.
was this was his first, his directorial
This is
debut.
his directorial debut,
And it was pretty good. That movie was pretty well received, if I remember.
It was,
right.
yeah. And Casey Affleck was the star. He was actually great in it. Other than before that, I hadn't really seen Casey Affleck in much outside of Good Will Hunting and 200 Cigarettes.
You know, I've only just started to get into Casey Affleck. So now, like, I would look forward to seeing him in something. And now, he won the Academy Award.
Yeah, for Manchester by the Sea, which I did not like the movie, but I thought the performance was excellent. I thought all the performances were excellent in that movie. But
You didn't like the movie because
did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
It felt unresolved to me.
Yeah, the end.
It
kinda
does,
The end of it.
and I guess I have a thing for that because I don't remember what the other movie was, but I felt the same way about it.
The one, I think it was the one I told you about, Nocturnal Creatures. So that's one you didn't like because it didn't have a resolution.
Is that right? Nocturnal Animals?
Nocturnal Animals,
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I didn't like the movie. Again, I don't want to ruin it, but
Unresolved
the
end.
very end, it's like, okay. So, I don't know. But anyway, we're not talking about Casey, we're talking about Ben. And then his second one was The Town,
The Town,
which
right?
I really liked.
Yeah,
it's
I
one of my
liked it.
favorite movies of all time. Actually, you know what? Let's see what all these got for ratings. Let's see.
Yeah, and The Town had.
Ben Affleck actually started that one, but it was also Jeremy Renner, John Hamm, Blake Lively.
Yeah, you lent me that one. That was a real
Yeah.
good movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a very good action movie.
It's a good role for Jeremy Renner, who I really wasn't aware of until
The Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, which another movie I didn't like. I thought he was great in it, but it didn't have enough action for me.
Yeah,
So Gone Baby Gone gets 7.7.
that's pretty. That's a really good rating.
It is a good
7.7.
rating. But like I said, it's a really good movie, and all the movies that he's directed have been really good. What was after The Town? Actually, Live by Night might have. No, I feel like
No,
he's
Live by Night was pretty new. He
Yeah.
did.
He did one.
The one he was overseas. The one he won. Didn't he win the Academy Award? Or he was nominated. For
Oh, right, Argo.
Argo.
So The Town got 7.6.
Wow. So he had a 7.7 followed by a 7.6.
Yep, and then
That's pretty good.
Argo was next, and yeah, he didn't win Best Director. He kind of got shafted there, but he won Best Picture because he was a producer on the film. Him, George Clooney, and Argo got 7.7.
Wow, this is a pretty good.
Argo's based on a true story. This is why I did it. I didn't look his ratings up, but I figured they'd all be rated pretty high.
I mean, so far this is a pretty good body of work.
Yeah. Very good. Live by Night. I think Live by Night I did look up.
I'm trying to think what else I've seen Ben Affleck directed. Did he do like one of those the bad one with Jennifer Lopez? That was that his?
No. He was bad enough just acting. He didn't have to be a bad director too. And Live by Night got 6.4. So that's still not bad.
It's still that's still watchable at 6.4. That's kind of like a decent movie. It's definitely nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean,
No. I mean, it bombed at the box office big time, and that's when Warner Brothers pretty much took the Batman movies out of his responsibility.
Now you've seen this movie, Live by Night.
Yeah, I liked it.
Uh,
I had
do you think it should get a higher rating than 6.4?
Yeah,
Or do you think it's about appropriate for 6.4?
I don't think. No, I think it's higher than 6.4, but compared to the other three, it's not.
It's not as good as the other
No.
three.
I mean, of the other three, I like The Town the best. I actually like Argo third out of those three. I like The Town, then Gone Baby Gone, then Argo.
I remember Argo being really good.
Argo was really good. Had a really good cast. But I mean, when you're talking about 7.7, 7.7, and 7.6, I mean,
Yeah.
those are pretty high ratings.
So far, those four movies, that's a pretty good body of work right there.
Yeah, and I think that's the last one he's done that's actually come out.
So he's only done 4.
Yeah, and he's had a pretty good track record.
That's a real good track record right there.
So
Even though it didn't make money, that doesn't really, to me, and I haven't seen the movie yet. Like I say, I'll probably see it within the next 2 weeks, because it's at the top of my list to watch.
just checking to make sure.
But that's a good body of work. 4 movies, and 4 movies that all are, according to their ratings, highly watchable films.
Oh, this says he has 7 credits as director.
I always think it's kind of amazing when a director, or in the case of like the Coen brothers, when they can have a body of work that's almost flawless, where they really don't screw up. Though I know the Coen brothers have that one movie, The Lady Killers, which I haven't seen, so it's hard for me to render an opinion on it. But supposedly that was like a bomb.
It was awful.
It was awful.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not letting me.
But it's amazing to me that these directors can come out with good movie after good movie, and you never know. They could botch it up. Like there's a famous I don't want to say like a story about it. What's it? Terry Gilliam, right? Who's made some really off the wall movies. He's directed some of the Monty Python, Brazil, Fisher King, 12 Monkeys. I should shut up because I could put him in as a director here at some point.
Yeah.
But anyway, Terry Gilliam directed a movie that was supposed to be based on like The Man of La Mancha, about Don Quixote. And supposedly there was a film that he made of it. And things got botched up so bad that they made a film of making the film. And I don't think the film ever came out.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I could be wrong, but I don't think the Don Quixote movie ever came out by
Terry Gilliam.
By Terry Gilliam ever came out. But there's a movie called something like Searching for Don Quixote about the making of it.
Wow. That'd be kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Especially if there is no movie.
It is. That's like I'm kind of like fascinated by it.
All right, so Colin and I were talking before the show, and we were thinking about me, you, and Alex watching Your Name here together and doing commentary on it.
Wow.
What do you think?
That sounds cool. I want to see the movie.
It'd be a longer episode than normal, like an hour and 40 plus minutes. But it would be fun.
And we would do commentary as the movie's going?
Yeah.
Is that appropriate for that movie? I mean, something you would talk through?
Colin says it's okay. He gives us a thumbs up, so. I thought me and him should watch it, but he said all 3 of us, because none of us have seen it, me, you, or Alex.
Right.
So I think that's a good idea for a future show, when we all have the time to do it.
And it's really highly rated, right? According to IMDb.
Yeah. It's like 8, what was it, 8.2, 8.4, or something like that? 8.4.
8.4. That's pretty good.
Better than Ben Affleck. There you go. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for Ben Affleck. I knew he hadn't done a lot, but like I said, the sample
It's
of what
pretty
he's
quality,
done.
yeah.
He's done pretty well.
So now you said he had something in what, like post-production now? He's got something that's going on?
Well, it's not
He
letting me-
must.
I thought he was doing.
Because with a track record like that, you wouldn't just stop. You know?
Yeah, this thing's not working right, so
Uh-oh.
Colin broke it. Yeah, I think he was initially going to do the Batman movies, but I don't think he is anymore. I think he's just starring in them, but he's not directing.
I don't know. I wonder what it takes to direct a movie. Like I say, some of these guys are so consistent with their films.
This one's yours, Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What did I just see? I just saw Julia Roberts. I don't know if she had like taken a break in movies and stuff, but she. I just saw her in Wonder with Owen Wilson. Did you see it?
No.
It's kind of I don't know. I guess they were marketing it as like a family movie. It was based on a popular book about this kid that has like facial deformities, and he'd been homeschooled to a point, and then his family decided that he should go to the regular school in middle school. And I guess it's his first. It kind of documents like his first year in middle school and all the trials and tribulations of him going through. It's a real good movie. And Julia Roberts played the mother, which kind of tells you something that she's kind of transitioned now
Right.
from
I was
like
just
the
gonna say that.
ingenue into the mother roles, things like that.
How old do you think she is?
I know because I looked it up because my girlfriend and I were talking about her husband is played by Owen Wilson, and she said that's ridiculous. They shouldn't be hooked up together because she's obviously older than he is. Well, I looked it up. He's a year old. I mean, she's a year older than Owen Wilson. Only a year. that
She's
separates
50,
them.
he's 49.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. She
Sounds
turns
about right.
51 in October.
And a very nice looking 51. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I
she's
don't mean that
attractive.
in a sexist way. I just mean
No.
she's aged very well.
Yeah, she's very attractive. Actually, the most recent movie I saw with her in it that I completely forgot about until I just started scrolling was Money Monster.
Oh, I didn't see it.
George Clooney, Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
a
recent. What's the year on that one?
2016.
Oh, Money Mile. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, make me a list. I'll bring in some more movies.
I'm writing it down.
Write down Gone Baby Gone too, please. I'll read you the description.
You know, I've seen
It's
Gone
got a
Baby
6
Gone. I'm kind of like, and I remember it had to do with the missing kid. I can't remember. I guess it's good because I could watch it again. I don't remember what the twist was
Yeah.
to it. I
So
know
it
it has
says-
something to do with Morgan Freeman.
Financial
Or should-
TV host Lee Gates and his producer Patty are put in an extreme situation when an irate investor takes them and their crew as hostage.
Oh,
So it's on live TV. It's good. George Clooney's the host. Julia Roberts is
What's IMDb give it?
6.5.
6.5. That's a decent movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it wasn't great, but it's definitely worth it.
Now, who directed that? Did George Clooney direct that movie?
I don't-
Because he's been directing. That's another guy we should throw in for directing. I think he's done a couple.
He has done a couple.
Didn't he do? He did one about.
Jodie Foster directed this.
Jodie Foster directed.
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right. Now she hasn't been acting very much. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've seen Jodie Foster.
I think she's done a few.
But she has directed. She directed that, and she directed one with Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, like The Beaver or something.
The
like
Beaver.
that? Yeah. Which I haven't seen.
I did see it, and I totally have forgotten. I think it was supposed to be a comedy. It didn't really do much for me, so I don't think it's probably got a. If I had to guess, IMDb gives it a low rating, probably maybe 5 point something.
She was in the first two Oceans movies, Oceans 11 and Oceans 12.
Jodie Foster was?
No, Julia Roberts.
Oh, Julia Roberts, yeah.
She plays Tess.
You know, what do you think of when you think of Julia Roberts? Pretty Woman,
yeah.
right?
Definitely Pretty Woman comes to mind.
She.
Which is a classic, you know. I mean, that's just one of those movies I think everybody's seen.
Are you looking at her page right now?
Yeah.
How many times has she been nominated for Academy Awards? She must have been nominated at least once.
She has an Oscar.
She has an Oscar.
She won an Oscar for Aaron Brockovich.
Oh, right. So yeah, I forgot Aaron Brockovich.
I haven't seen that. All right, so she was nominated for Best Performance by an actress in a supporting role 2014 for August, Osage County.
Oh, I haven't seen it. It's on my list to watch, though.
Winner, Best Actress in a Leading Role, Erin Brockovich, 2001. Best Actress in a Leading Role nominee, 1991, Pretty Woman. Best Actress in the Supporting Role nominee, 1990, Steel Magnolias.
Oh,
So she's been nominated 4 times and she has 1 win. It's kind of funny because 2 of her 4 nominations are for supporting roles. I don't really think of her as much of a supporting.
No.
She's generally the name that sells the tickets.
Yeah.
Because she's got to be one of the biggest female actresses of all time.
probably, yeah.
As far as complete draw and just popularity, I mean.
Yeah, she's one of those people. She's, and like I say, she's aged well, so she's still going to be able to do some. There are going to be movies in her future. She's still
Yeah.
going to be doing some films.
Did you see Closer?
Closer, I did. Yeah,
That's Mike Nichols' movie. Her, Natalie
Law.
Portman, Jude Law, and Clive Owen.
yeah.
I liked it, but not a fun movie.
No, I have it somewhere. That's one I would watch again.
Yeah, I have it somewhere too. I bought it for like $3 at Ocean State or something, and I'd
Yeah.
never seen it. I was just like, for $3, it's cheaper than rent.
I watched it, and I think my dad said to me, he goes, "This movie is filthy."
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely something you don't want Jake to watch.
Right.
But it was good. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah. What else have I seen her in that I liked?
Have
Well,
you seen
like
Erin
say,
Brockovich?
Erin Brockovich, yeah.
Did you like
real
that?
good. Yeah. I remember really liking it. That's Steven Soderbergh, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was nominated for Best Director for that and Traffic in the same year, and he won for Traffic. Conspiracy Theory, her Mel Gibson.
I remember seeing it, yeah.
I saw it in the movie theater. He's kind of a nut job.
I think he did a pretty good job as a nut job.
Yeah, I think because he is kind of a nut job.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really acting. It was just like, Mel, just go and be you for 2 hours.
Do you think he's a good actor, Mel
Yeah.
Gibson?
I like Mel Gibson. I think he's a very talented actor.
Yeah, I like him too.
I think he has a good range. Like he's good in comedies. He's good in drama, action. Just look at some of he's done Maverick. That was funny. It was a Western, but it was funny.
Right, he could do comedy, definitely.
One,
The ones with
What Women Want,
with the gun. What do they call those?
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon movies.
Yep, those were serious and comedic, both. The
Yeah.
first one wasn't really funny, but after that, when they added Joe Pesci, they kind of got a little more humor to him. He's an actor we should do sometime.
Joe Pesci.
He hasn't been in a movie in ages.
He-
I looked him up on Netflix.
He's coming up
There's-
in one though.
There's nothing, really.
Yeah, it's about who's the guy, the Teamster that disappeared?
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. They've got a movie about Jimmy Hoffa.
Is he?
I think it's Pacino, De Niro, and Pesci.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it coming. It's
I didn't
coming
know
down the
that
pipe.
was about Jimmy Hoffa though.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm mixing it up. Maybe there's a Hoffa movie coming out. But Pesci's coming back. He's going to make a comeback here, which is going to be. That's pretty exciting, I
don't
like
remember
if Joe
the-
Pesci watches the show, I'd say, Joe, we're really excited.
We'd like to have you on as a guest.
We would love to see a Joe Pesci movie. It's exciting just to think he's going to be on the
when
screen
was the
again.
last new Joe Pesci movie that you saw? I think the last one I saw was that stupid one with him and Danny Glover, when they went gone fishing or something like that.
Yeah,
It was terrible. Maybe that's why he stopped doing movies.
could be. He's just got bored with it.
Because I guess they kind of really need Mel Gibson in the equation. Because Joe Pesci and Danny Glover together just.
I read about why he
didn't work.
retired. There was some kind of weird lawsuit or something too. I can't remember what it was about. Joe Pesci got involved. Somebody was suing him, or he was suing somebody, and something, and it just caused him a lot of, it gave him agita, and he couldn't watch. He couldn't make movies anymore.
That's too bad. We're way off topic anyway. So
Julia Roberts. I'm trying to think. I think she's Eric Roberts' brother. For people that don't realize.
You know what?
that.
I liked. It's kind of a girly movie, but I'll admit I liked it. Stepmom.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
pieces of it. I don't think I saw the whole movie.
I actually liked it. I don't know. Her and Susan Sarandon's chemistry was great. Or lack of chemistry, however you want to put it. They didn't like each.
She really is kind of a magnetic actress, isn't she? She came in, Mystic Pizza was her first big movie, whether it's her actual first one or not. And she was the little sister to Eric Roberts, because at one point, Eric Roberts was like a headline actor. He was up
And
there.
then he went to like B movies, didn't he?
Yeah, he became B movies, and now he's like,
And then she became like a freaking superstar overnight after.
oh yeah,
Pretty
her,
Woman.
Her fame is like dwarfed him. He's
Yeah.
you know people don't even know who he is. anymore.
Everybody knows who Julia Roberts is. Like literally everybody knows who Julia Roberts is. My best friend's wedding.
And that one I never saw.
It was a little.
Dermot Mulrooney.
Yeah. Rupert Everett.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Oh, Cameron Diaz.
Cameron, yeah, I didn't. I didn't see that one. I know when it came out, and
I watched it. I wouldn't watch it again. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't watch it again.
yeah, she's definitely talented. If you haven't seen Erin Brockovich, you probably should see
I
it.
haven't seen.
That's based on a true story, and
That's her.
I don't think she actually plays the actual person. I don't think she tried to copy the person's mannerisms or anything, but she was able to take the spirit of it. It's pretty.
That's Albert Finney and Aaron Eckhart, right? They're also in that. I'm pretty sure Albert Finney's her boss
Yeah.
because he was nominated for an Oscar for that, and I'm pretty sure that's how Aaron Eckhart got his career going. I mean, he was probably in stuff before that, but I think that was like his breakout role.
His big break.
I think so, yeah. But like I said, I haven't seen it. What about the Pelican Brief?
Oh, Grisham. That's another Grisham
That's
one.
her and Denzel.
Yeah, I probably saw that.
I haven't seen that.
She's real good in that.
Steel Magnolias,
Mm-hmm.
Pretty Woman, Flatliners. Did you ever see that? Her and Kiefer Sutherland.
Flatliners. Wow, so she did that. Oh, you're going back. You're going backwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so she did that before Steel Magnolias. I did see that.
No, she did Flatliners after Steel Magnolias.
Oh,
It goes Steel Magnolias, Pretty Woman, then Flatliners.
where they're all like intern doctors. Yeah, I remember that being a pretty decent movie. They were bringing people back from the dead, and then I think what happens is eventually they try to. Have you seen the movie?
No.
Oh,
I haven't.
they're doctors, and somehow they figure out how to bring people back, like with the paddles and everything. They bring them back from the dead because these people have like an afterlife. The people that they actually revived have afterlife experiences. So then they start playing with it and doing it purposely. So they decide to kill Kiefer Sutherland and bring him back. And of course, once he comes back, he's a little weird.
That sounds like a movie I would probably like.
Yeah, I would watch it. If you bring it up, I'll bet it's in the sixes. It's a movie that I remember people really enjoyed watching when it came out.
6.6.
6.6, yeah.
5 medical students experiment with near-death experiences until the dark consequences of past tragedies begin to jeopardize their lives.
Oh, who's the other guy? He's a real
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. There's another guy. He's a tall actor.
William Baldwin, Oliver Platt.
Oliver Platt. That's who I'm thinking.
Joel Schumacher directed it.
Yeah.
All right, you should make me a list and write Flatliners on it.
Flatliners. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna find a piece of paper.
You know what surprises me? The little amount of Julia Roberts movies I've actually seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Name some of the other ones. See, some of them are kind of forgettable. Like when you say like Pelican Brief, it's like I know I saw it, but
There's like Mary Riley, Michael Collins,
oh, Mary Riley,
Notting Hill.
Michael Collins. That's with George Clooney. Am I
No,
thinking
that's-
that's Michael Clayton.
Michael Clayton. Yeah, Michael Collins, I think, is a Irish movie.
Liam Neeson.
That sounds like it might be right.
Yeah. Now I think I saw them. I think I
Neil
saw them.
Jordan movie. Liam Neeson, Aidan Quinn, Julia Roberts. Neil Jordan's historical biopic of Irish revolutionary Michael Collins, the man who led a guerrilla war against the UK, helped negotiate the creation of the Irish Free State, and led the National Army during the Irish Civil War.
Huh.
I've definitely not seen that. Got nominated for 2 Oscars, though.
I think the Mary Riley was.
7.2.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That is good.
I mean, I guess it was good when it
Mary
came out.
Riley, I think, her, John Malkovich.
And it has to do with Dr. Jekyll and
Jekyll
Mr.
and Hyde,
Hyde.
yeah.
I must have seen it when it came
I
out.
didn't see that. Let's see what that got for a rating, though. Mary Riley. She plays Mary Riley. Well, what a surprise. 5.8.
Yeah, so that one.
It's on the Mendoza line.
That's kind of like
Yeah.
on the border of not really
We
wanting to watch.
might
waste your time
pass.
with it.
Might pass on that one.
I didn't put it on your list. I put Flatliners on because I think you'll enjoy it.
What about Confessions of a Dangerous Mind? That was a Clooney directed movie.
Didn't see it.
Didn't like
It's
it.
on my list. You didn't like it.
Nope.
It's on my list of movies to see. is what's his name?
Wow, it got 7.1.
Is that got the guy that just won the Academy?
Sam
Award?
Rockwell,
Sam
yeah.
Rockwell. I kind of like Sam Rockwell. I would see it just on the strength of him, and anyway, I don't know.
I mean, the cover's misleading because it's got it in alphabetical order. So it's Drew Barrymore, George Clooney, Julia Roberts, and Sam Rockwell. But Sam Rockwell's the star. It's his movie. I mean, George Clooney's barely in it.
And George Clooney directed it.
Yes.
What's that get for a rate?
7.1.
7.1, yeah.
I'm surprised. I don't know. I guess it's just not my style of movies. I don't even remember finishing it, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I think I just got to the point. I mean, I was interested because Clooney directed it, and I didn't really like it. What about the Mexican, her and Brad Pitt, James Gandolfini?
Geez, I saw it.
I didn't.
That's
see
another one I saw, but I can't tell you much about it.
I bet it doesn't get a high rate. Oh, 6.1.
Yeah, that's kind of borderline. It's kind of watchable, semi-enjoyable. Not a masterpiece, though.
What about America's Sweethearts? Because that's got a big cast.
I don't think I saw
Her,
it.
Billy Crystal, Catherine Zeta-Jones, John Cusack. I think they're
Oh, maybe
her
I
and Billy
did.
Crystal are like agents for two
Yeah.
actors.
Maybe I did see this.
5.7. So. All right, you want to pick someone else?
All right, we're going to pick another actor. We feel like we've somewhat exhausted Julia
Julia
Roberts
Roberts,
now,
yeah.
so we're going to move
Like I
on.
said, I'm surprised at the lack of amount of movies I've seen with her in.
Yeah, I like her, but I can't really think of a lot of movies that I really loved her in,
Yeah, me neither. I mean, she's definitely a talented actress.
And I enjoy her.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like my handwriting. Oh, okay. This is good because I had notes. How much time we got? We're blocking it. We're blocking our clock. Bob De Niro.
Oh boy.
All right, Bob De Niro. Now, when you think Robert De Niro, what do you think? You think about
Honestly,
you looking at me? Are you looking at me?
honestly, just because
I don't see anybody else.
I
here.
saw it first, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
I probably saw it before I saw any other De Niro movie.
Wow.
But my favorite De Niro performance probably is Mean Streets.
Early De Niro.
Yeah. I mean, but until like the mid 2000s, you couldn't really say he ever really had a bad performance, I don't think. You know what one of my favorite ones is? Midnight Run. I haven't seen
With Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in such a long time, but that is such a good movie. That's a fun movie.
Yeah, that might have been like one of the first times he was doing a comedy. Because he kind of busted out. That was a pretty big hit when it came out.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, Robert De Niro hadn't done a whole lot of comedies.
We probably should have done him first. This should have been the first one we pulled out of the hat because this is going to be a long topic.
We were talking about, we did a show on The Godfather. And we were talking about something I didn't realize is I've been reading some of the backstories of some of these big, like blockbuster films and who was going to be cast. And supposedly they had looked at De Niro for the original Godfather movie. Potentially, I'm thinking
As Michael?
I'm thinking to be Michael, and that he was obligated to another movie, The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight, something like that. So De Niro couldn't do The Godfather, and then eventually when they made Godfather 2, then what I consider like his big breakout performance, he got to be, Don Vito Corleone.
Yeah.
And when you look at that in the context, is if you didn't know Robert De Niro and you're watching that, like now we watch it in retrospect. When I watched the movie, I've already seen a lot of his work, but at the time you didn't know him. I mean, and he really was just brilliant. I mean, really just made such a mark
Yeah.
with that performance.
I mean, him and Jack Nicholson and Al Pacino kind of all owned the 70s.
Yeah.
That was like they're all like. I bet you if you look back, I bet you one of them was nominated for an Oscar every single year in the 70s.
And then you think about it, he followed that up with, in the 70s, followed that up with Taxi Driver, which was, let me think. Godfather Part 2 was
74. I think Taxi Driver was 75.
Like
and I think
75.
Mean Streets was before Godfather Part 2.
Right.
I think so that's a pretty impressive run.
And then he did, I think he did Deer Hunter in 78.
78.
Which was a huge movie at
So
the time.
we are going to...
I think Deer Hunter won Best Picture. De Niro again at his best.
He was nominated but didn't win Best Actor that year.
And then he did Raging Bull in 1980.
80, yep. That was he skipped a year from 78. He didn't do anything in 79, and then he went to Raging Bull. Do you think it was because of his body transformation?
Yeah, it could be because he put on a bunch of weight.
He did
for
put
that
on a
movie.
bunch of weight.
It was the first actor I remember doing an actual transformation. That wasn't makeup in that movie.
So this,
I mean, he was. I mean, if you think about that grouping of movies, he was just tremendous. Just
So
like one of the best actors ever.
73 Mean Streets, 74 Godfather Part 2, 76 Taxi Driver, 76 1900, which I don't know. Last Tycoon, New York, New York, The Godfather Saga is a miniseries, and then The Deer Hunter, and then Raging Bull.
Yeah, Last Tycoon didn't do much. New
No.
York, New York probably didn't get a good write-up. It's with Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I've seen New York, New York a couple of times, and I don't know. I think De Niro in a movie like that, it was so, it was so different. He just owned the 70s. He was
Let's-
the best actor.
From
at the time.
73 to 80, Mean Streets, Godfather Part 2, Taxi Driver, Deer Hunter, Raging Bull. In that 7-year period, those are 5 classic movies. Like all-time classics, in my opinion.
Well, like you say, that 7-year period, that might be the best 7 years of
Of
any
any
actor ever.
actor or actress of all time.
I mean, even I would say, like, and I love Marlon Brando, but I don't know that Marlon Brando put together a string like that.
In such a small time frame of that
Right.
many movies. I mean, I own all 5 of those movies. There can't be one of them under 7.
Now, what do you think since 1980? Since 1980, you're going to be hard pressed to find a handful of movies like that you find Robert De Niro was great in.
All right.
There's that one. Now, we talked about it. It's De Niro, it's Edward Norton, and
15 minutes.
Mila Jovovich. And De Niro is the
Not Edward Norton.
he's not a probation. He's like a probation
Yeah,
officer.
I know what you're
And
talking about.
Edward
I
Norton's
haven't
getting out of
seen
prison.
it. Stone.
Stone.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
That movie, it was like, maybe because those are two of my favorite actors together, it was one of the best I'd seen of De Niro in years.
Edward Norton's great.
And Edward Norton's and Mila Jovovich actually might be better than the two of those guys.
Really?
She's that good in the movie.
That one I do need to see.
And you know what? Just based on that movie alone, Mila Jovovich is probably one of the most underrated actresses.
Really?
See, now I would want to see. I've got like The Fifth Element. Just part of it, the
Just
reason
for her?
I own it is just because I want to watch her because it was the first time I remember her coming out. So what is De Niro? I mean, since then he did the whole Meet the Parents series,
Right.
which he's very good in. He's really good in those comedies. It was really good. He did the 2 with Billy Crystal comedies. He was really good.
Analyze this and analyze that.
Oh yeah, those. I don't know if have you seen them?
I saw the first one.
I didn't realize this. My girlfriend said, "Oh, you got to watch these. He's really good." We got some laughs out of him, and De Niro's great in that, as far as a comedy goes.
So I was just going to tell you this real quick. Mean Streets, 7.4. Godfather 2, obviously, 9.0. That's like number 3, I think, on IMDb.
Right.
Godfather Part 1 and Shawshank Redemption, which still not. So what do you think? Taxi Driver, over or under Mean Streets, 7.4.
7.4 over.
8.3.
Yeah.
See, I like Mean Streets better than Taxi Driver. I mean, it's like picking your favorite kid or whatever, I guess. You know. It's-
They're both Scorsese, right?
Yeah. All right. Deer Hunter, over or under 8.3.
Oh, over under 8.3.
It's about where I expected.
I'm gonna say over, slightly over.
8.1.
Wow.
I mean, that's still obviously very high. I think Raging Bull is going to be the highest.
Have you seen The Deer Hunter? Have you
Once.
seen it? Just once.
I will not watch that movie. I own it.
How long ago did you see it? Long time ago?
Yeah, I think I was just out of high school.
I saw it in the movie theater when it came out. I don't know if I might have watched it since then. I haven't seen it in a long time
That
because
is one of the hardest movies to watch.
it was so traumatizing. There was like the prison camp part was just
when
so
they're under
like,
the bridge in the water playing. No, it's just, I mean,
Katsu Mao!
in the end, just. The end is why I haven't watched it.
And Meryl Streep, another like underrated Meryl Streep performance. She's just
Christopher Walken won Best Supporting Actor.
right. It was the first time that Christopher Walken. Now I was young, of course, but it was the first time Christopher Walken kind of came to my attention, and I thought he was just great in that movie.
So I was wrong. Of all those movies, Taxi Driver is the highest rated. Raging Bull gets 8.2.
8.2.
Taxi Driver got 8.3. And that's probably my least of the 5. My least favorite of the 5 is probably Taxi Driver.
Oh wow.
And like I said, I love the movie, but I mean, I don't know what. I mean, some of his later work in the '80s, like The Untouchables, he was Al Capone. I thought he was great in that.
Right.
The scene when they're at the table and he takes a baseball bat.
Right.
That's a memorable scene.
He was a little over the top. He was a little like, well,
was.
imagine that was probably about the same time period that Pacino was doing like Scarface.
Well, I was gonna say
He
this was De Palma too.
Oh, they're both De Palma.
They
Yeah.
were both De Palma movies, so De Palma probably didn't think it was over the top.
Yeah, he probably made them. He pumped
Yeah,
these guys up.
He's probably like, dude, I did Scarface. He's like, go for it.
Because what does he say to the guy? He goes, "I want you to kill that." Oh, I can't remember what his name was.
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie.
Kevin Costner's character.
Oh, Elliot Ness.
I want you to kill that Elliot Ness. I want you to burn his house down. I want to wake up in the morning and piss on his ashes. I mean, he was just bananas.
Yeah, he was. Sean Connery won his only Oscar for that.
Sean Connery was really good. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how about this? We're talking about some of his later work, and I went through like his films, and here's a bunch I hadn't seen. Being Flynn with Paul Dano.
I have not seen that.
I haven't either.
I've heard of it. I had it on Netflix for a while.
And I like Paul Dano. The Bagman with John Cusack.
I haven't seen that either.
Me
And
either.
I like John Cusack too.
Killing Season with John.
I
Travolta.
have seen that.
You have seen.
I
it.
have. I actually liked it.
It was good.
It was. I like most movies, so.
See, but
Here, I'll tell you what it got on.
I don't know
IMDb.
about other people. I like John Travolta.
I do too.
I always have.
Those two are two of my favorite actors. That's why I watched it, because it was on demand on Netflix. And let's see what it got. It probably didn't get very high. 5.4. Yeah.
5.4 Killing Season, huh?
Yeah.
That's 5.4 is almost like not watchable.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're wasting your time with it.
I think I just had the day off, and I was like, you know what, I'm finally gonna watch this movie. But I liked it. It's hard when you have two of your favorite actors in a movie to not like the movie, you know.
Right. Now the other one that I brought up before the show, Hands of Stone,
Right.
which I think is already out,
Yeah, it came out in
But
2016, so.
but I haven't seen it. It's about Roberta Duran. So Hands of Stone meaning like, I mean, isn't that what they used to say about Roberta Duran? Might have been his nickname,
It could have been his
Hands
nickname.
of Stone, who was famous for No Mas.
One.
Who did he no mas? Do you follow boxing? Who did he say
I don't.
no mas against?
I don't know. One talking about boxing though, one that I have seen, one of his most recent ones with Grudge Match, him and Stallone.
You saw it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I mean, it's too.
Is it funny?
Yeah, well, it's Alan Arkin and Kevin Hart play their managers, so they're very entertaining. Grudge Match got a 6.4. It says a pair
Which is
of
kind of like entertaining. 6.4 is an entertaining score.
a pair of aging boxing rivals are coaxed out of retirement to fight one final bout 30 years after their last match. You know, so Alan Arkin and Kevin Hart go back and forth picking on each other for, you know, Alan Arkin's old, Kevin Hart's so scrawny. You know, so they just kind of go back and forth. I mean, it's worth watching. I enjoyed it.
I kind of want to see it because I also
Write it down. I have it.
I like Stallone.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's.
I wrote down another movie called Red Lights.
I haven't even heard of that.
I don't know.
You know
Isn't it
who's-
weird? But I mean, it's De Niro. I don't know if it got a good write-up or not.
You know who was actually in Grudge Match who I hadn't seen in a long time? Is Kim Basinger. She seemed like she just stopped doing movies.
Yeah, that's true. Grudge Match. I'm writing it down. Also, now did you happen to see? Was it? I think it's called Dirty Grandpa
I haven't seen
with
that.
Robert De Niro. My mother went to see it. She said she went to see it with her friend. She said it was just disgusting, like the blue humor or whatever and everything. And that's what I read. And it kind of dropped like a rock. He also did a movie. I think it's
He did
called.
one with Anne Hathaway.
He did one with Anne Hathaway.
Like The Internship or Intern? Or...
Oh, The Intern. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty well received.
I haven't seen that.
He did. I guess he's been doing a bunch of stuff. He did one. I think it's called The Comedian.
Yeah, I saw that on here.
that I thought looked pretty interesting.
He has 115 acting credits. That's
Wow.
not necessarily all movies, but it's definitely mostly movies.
Yeah. Some of them are probably some voiceovers and things.
Yeah, The Intern was 2015. American. Oh, what about Las Vegas? That's one that I wanted to see and I haven't. And it's got a great cast. Like a cast for the ages.
Las Vegas.
Yeah. It's like their last trip all together, I guess.
Oh, right. Four
It's
guys.
it's Robert De Niro, Michael Douglas, Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Kline. You know, that's a good.
That's a kind of a good grouping.
That is a good grouping.
How did that do as far as a write up?
6.6.
That sounds like it's in the entertaining range.
4 friends take a break from their day-to-day lives to throw a bachelor party in Las Vegas for their last remaining single pal.
Who do you think it is out of those 4 guys?
Probably Michael Douglas.
You think Michael Douglas is their last remaining pal?
Yeah,
He stayed single the longest?
yeah. I can totally see that.
I was thinking it was Kevin Kline.
Really?
Maybe.
See, I could see Kevin Kline as a family guy.
Yeah,
I see Michael Douglas as the kind of player.
I guess he could be.
Not wanting. Have you ever seen Ghosts of Girlfriends Past?
No. That Michael Douglas?
You said that so convincingly, like no. It's not a very good movie, but
No, maybe that's why.
no, it's Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Garner,
Oh,
and they're like old sweethearts, and Jennifer Garner's like the best maid at someone or whatever it's called. She's like the girl throwing the wedding or whatever,
yeah.
and it's Matthew McConaughey's brother that's getting married, and Matthew McConaughey's kind of like the
The Playboy.
yeah, the Playboy.
I can see that.
And Michael Douglas is the guy who taught him how to be the Playboy. So he's like the ghost, and he's totally the player, And Matthew McConaughey sees better. He wants to settle down, start a family. It's kind of quirky, but yeah, Michael Douglas is great as that guy, and so is Matthew McConaughey. So. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's Michael Douglas. Neither one of us instantly thought it was De Niro
No.
or Arkin. No. Let's see. Billy, Patty, Archie, and Sam. Best friends. Yeah, so in Billy, yeah, it is Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas is the last guy.
Yeah. The sworn bachelor finally proposes to his 30-something, of course, girlfriend. So,
There you go.
Yeah. And, that's kind of real life. Because he married Catherine Zeta-Jones, and there's a pretty big age discrepancy.
Yeah, I heard somebody was making fun of him. They were joking about I know it was Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live, it was an old skit. They were goofing on that, the two of them being together.
So he's gonna
Now
be
being in the position I'm in, now I'm not sure if I think it's so funny.
He's gonna be 74 in September. How old do you think she is? I don't even think she's 50, right?
45. Whoops.
I think the iPad's not working.
We got taken offline.
Yep.
Maybe she's older than that. I'm trying to think of how long she's been around.
I mean, was Traffic her big break?
No, I think she did something before that. Something that kind of broke her to get her into Traffic. Man, I don't know. She must have been in something.
She probably was. I don't know if
We
Traffic
gotta
was.
put it. I'm gonna put that name down to throw her in the hat someday.
So he's 74 and she's. Oh, they have the same birthday.
They have the same birthday.
Yeah, September 25th.
Wow.
She's gonna be 49. So he's 25 years older than her. Exactly. 25 years older. than her.
25 years old. So how old is she now?
She's gonna be 49.
She's 49 and he's 74.
They're gonna be 49 and 74 on the same day. So I mean,
Well,
it's
I
kind
don't think that's so bad.
Hey, whatever. I mean,
I'm only saying that.
I think we got time for one more.
What do we got time?
Yeah.
Colin says yes.
Or do you want to keep going on De Niro? Because there are a couple De Niro movies that I saw that I was curious to know if you saw. Did you see Night in the City?
Night in the City.
Now I got to get back on Robert De Niro.
Oh shoot! I think that's the one. Yeah,
Him and
he's
Jessica Lange. He gets blacklisted. Is that the right one?
yeah, maybe I didn't. see
No,
that.
maybe that's not the one.
There was another one where he's a cop, and somehow he gets involved in a case that has to do with his son.
Oh, that's City by the Sea.
City by the Sea.
I didn't really like that.
No?
No.
I kind of like, I mean, as far as Robert De Niro went, maybe I didn't like the movies as much, but I liked De Niro. I think he was kind of like up to his.
Yeah.
was
His
doing
performances are generally pretty good. Night in the City was early 90s. Oh, what about Heat?
Heat.
I
Yeah.
loved Heat.
Yeah, with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
That's one I need to see again. I need to watch
I
Heat
have that.
again.
The story about a cheating and incompetent lawyer who suddenly gets obsessed on becoming a boxing promoter. Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I have seen it, though. It's good. It only got a 5.8, but it's Robert De Niro and Jessica Lange. Irwin
Oh.
Winkler directed it. But I remember liking it.
That sounds pretty interesting. You know, there was one movie, I think it's called Once Upon a Time in America. That kind of came after that big streak of like great performances. It was with James Woods.
Yeah.
It was Robert De Niro, James Woods,
Is Pesci in that
Elizabeth
too?
McGovern. It might be.
I think he is. Like Burt
And-
Young?
I just remember there's like in the very beginning of the movie, they start out and they're all kids, and then they get older, and then you're supposed this. I just couldn't believe they did this. You're supposed to believe that Elizabeth McGovern and Robert De Niro are the same age.
Isn't she a lot younger than him?
A lot younger. That's
what
why.
I
But so
thought.
they started out. They showed like these kids. These two characters were supposed to be children together, and then the next thing you know, and there had to be a huge age difference at the time. Probably close to 20 years. I mean, it was so outrageous. It's like you couldn't even buy into it. And I think that movie got. Went down.
That was Sergio Leone, right?
Yeah, I think it's Sergio Leone. I think it went down the toilet.
So that's the thing with doing someone like De Niro. You forget if he's not like headlining Backdraft.
Backdraft.
That's one, I love that movie.
Right. He's one of the investigators.
Yeah, like he's
Kurt
not
Russell.
the star. Kurt Russell and William Baldwin are the stars, and he's like the supporting player.
Right.
And that's got a really good. Oh, Guilty by Suspicion was the one I was thinking of, but obviously Goodfellas, Jackknife, Midnight Run. What
I
about-
didn't even think, even in Goodfellas, I didn't think he didn't really have the big showy piece. I mean, you had Ray Liotta, who was he's the lead, I think,
Yes.
pretty much in the movie.
Yeah,
And then you had
Lorraine.
De Niro and Joe Pesci kind of supporting him. And,
Yeah.
and Pesci was just like, it was a great,
I mean, the bar scene is.
yeah, it was a great role for him, Joe Pesci.
He nailed it. That's why we need Joe Pesci back.
I mean, I think De Niro was solid, but he didn't have a showy
I thought Ray
performance.
Liotta was great.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, he
We're both kind of like Ray Liotta fans.
he
I
kind of
like Ray
had
Liotta.
to, kind of in a way, kind of carry that movie because he had to do the narrating. He's in pretty much every single scene. Once he gets older, I mean, that character is in, I think, literally every scene. But once he gets older, he kind of just takes over.
You know, it's funny. Goodfellas grew on me. When I originally saw it in New York City, and people were talking in the movie theater, which I found kind of distracting. And I think it kind of took me off the movie a little bit. And then I saw it again, and I'm not the biggest Scorsese fan. I kind of think he's, I don't know.
Which kind of surprises me that you did De Niro because they're like kind of joined at the hip. A
Yeah,
lot of De Niro's classic performances are Scorsese films.
is Raging Bull, is that Scorsese too?
I don't think Raging Bull is, but Taxi Driver is, Mean Streets is, Goodfellas. So Goodfellas beats all of them. Goodfellas gets 8.7.
8.7. People
Which
loved it.
That doesn't surprise me.
that-
I'm one of them. I loved it.
That movie grew on me. I liked it better as I got older.
What about Cape Fear?
Oh, I think Cape Fear that's a really hard one because that's a remake.
A remake, yeah. I think that's Scorsese too, though.
And I think it really was I think it was really kind of a thrilling movie. Gregory Peck and Robert Mitchum in the old movie. And then you had him and Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte,
De
right?
Niro and Nick Nolte.
It got a 7.3.
And I like Nick Nolte.
De Niro was kind of scary in that role.
Yeah, but there was something about like that character in the 50s. He was menacing without having to be over the top, and De Niro got that opportunity to like really be like, I don't know, like in modern movies to get into the violence and things like that Mitchum just hinted at, and I think it made it a more interesting movie. So I really was not a big fan of the newer Cape Fear.
No.
Maybe I have to see it again.
Did you see Righteous Kill? Him and Pacino? It was very disappointing.
Really?
Very predictable.
Well, what about Heat? I mean, now Heat, we think of it's De Niro, Pacino, but I think they're only in 2 scenes together in the whole movie.
Yeah, and there's the one scene where they're having the coffee, and then the scene at the end, and that's pretty much it. He got an 8.2.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I got to see it again.
That's a movie that I might go home and watch tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Because, the fighting scene in that movie, when they're in LA and they're just having an all-out shootout, I just love scenes like that. Like the town, at the end of the town, when they have the shootout with the cops. It's just...
As we're going over this, it's like I really want to see more Robert De Niro. You
Yeah.
know? Even though I kind of felt, there was a point where I felt like he was starting to disappoint me.
Yeah. Like, after... I liked Meet the Parents. Like, I mentioned that we should maybe do a show on sequels upcoming.
Right.
Meet the Fockers should not have happened. Little Fockers, after Meet the
You
Fockers,
don't even want it.
I was done. When every time Ben Stiller would call home and they would play that stupid message, it got so annoying. It's like, this isn't funny. It's just stupid. Casino I liked, though. Did you like Casino?
Yeah, I think Casino was pretty good. That's De Palma too, isn't it?
Scorsese.
Scorsese. Oh, it's a Scorsese.
That got an 8.2. Now, see, I don't think it's as good as Heat. I like Heat better. But,
Yeah.
that's another
great Joe Pesci movie.
Pesci, yep. De Niro, that's got a good cast. Sharon Stone got nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress for it. James Woods, Kevin Pollak. James Woods, I feel like we could do an episode on. Okay. All right, so do we want to we have 3 minutes left. Do we want to just keep on De Niro then?
Yeah, we might as well try to finish out.
I
talk about
think we
some
kind
De
of
Niro.
knew when we pulled De Niro that there's going to be a long...
Yeah, I wanted to hit on a couple of those movies that when I went through his list, I hadn't seen him, and I thought, wow. And he's got, like I say, I think he's got one coming up. It's him, Pesci, and I think it's Pacino. I think the 3 of them are all together. Now, these guys, like we say, Robert De Niro was really big in the 70s, which for me doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but it actually was 40 years ago.
Yeah, I wasn't even born yet.
You know what I mean? So here he was, like, in his heyday, 40 years ago, So these guys, I know De Niro's not 80 yet, but I think Pacino's pretty close to 80.
De Niro's going to be 75 in like 4 days.
Yeah, so De Niro's going to be 75.
August 17th.
I don't think Pesci's as old as that. But I think Al Pacino might be even a little bit older. He's close to 80. Because remember, we said Al Pacino, Gene Hackman, and Robert Duvall all kind of came up together.
Yeah.
And Gene Hackman's retired.
What?
Robert Duvall, I know, is well into his 80s.
He
now.
just did The Judge. He was really good in that. He got nominated for an Oscar for it, actually. What about Men of Honor? Him, Cuba Gooding Jr., Charlize Theron.
I really like that.
That was a good... I forgot about that movie. That's what I mean. When you start to go down this, 15 minutes, him and Edward Burns, Kelsey Grammer.
What did that get for
Men of Honor?
I'm just out of curiosity.
I bet it doesn't get as high as it
liked
should have. Well, it's 7.2.
7.2. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was I would rate it a 7.2. It
And
got
that's
me.
based on a true story.
I think, yeah. That movie got me. Like, when a movie, like, when it pulls you in and it gets the effect out of you
Yeah.
that you want, that one did. Because there was a point where I think De Niro's character changes.
Did you ever see Showtime? Him and Eddie Murphy?
I don't know.
Good.
I didn't-
I'm happy for you. Wag the Dog.
Wag the Dog,
Him
yeah.
and Dustin Hoffman. That's Barry Levinson. Oh, another Barry Levinson one. Sleepers.
Sleepers.
That-
And De Niro's in that. He plays the priest.
He plays the priest, yeah.
Oh,
And that's got an all-star cast. Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he's not the lead. He's a...
No. It's,
Oh, you reminded me of another one, too. I'm trying to think of who it is. It's De Niro. It had to do with the Black Dahlia case.
De Niro's in it?
De Niro, yeah. Whoa. Oh, we're running,
we're running out of time. De
I'm
Niro-
going to research. I'm going to find out
Yes,
what that movie is because
yeah,
I
look it
remember
up.
liking it.
So, until next week, I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Treadler.
See you at the movies.